Hey guys, how you going? Today I'll talk about BCD. What that means is buoyancy control device or compensator, and I've got one of those here. What the purpose of that thing is to hold all the gear in place, and when we're swimming or we are on the surface, that we are comfortable. In the surface, when we float under the water, to be neutral, and that's the very purpose, to be neutral and to be swimming really steady and not to fight with the weights, and yeah, like just comfortably. In past I had a couple of more BCDs which they were just jacket. Here that's the wing system. It's old BC, I think that was made 2002, which is now quite a few years. I did really like that BC, no problem at all. When you're diving with the BC, it's just you have to be aware, because the wing is pretty big, bulky. What happens is when you're on the surface, tends to lean you over, which means you know the leg goes under the water, or in the other hand you're floating like a raft. It's a huge thing. But otherwise under the water you don't. It's no problem whatsoever. And I do tend to like diving that way anyway. It's no point to dive that way because you go against the water or yeah. Anyway, just quickly through the weight system here looks like that, and I'll put the weights in. That's the pocket, which I lost once. I went once diving with my brother and on his boat, and what happened is I took the gear off because he hasn't got the ladders. I take the gear off, and obviously he must have think, oh yeah, that's the handle, and probably he holds for that. Put BC on the boat, and the things come out, gone, never to see again. Now the problem is, because it's old gear, you don't get that easy things like that anymore. Those days what I'm doing is I just use one of those. Just you know, weights that I can still use BC because it's still alright. Only thing was one day when I was doing the rescue, because we were putting more air in it and stuff like that, I think something happened and it started leaking. The bladder started leaking. Inside is obviously the bladder, and it started leaking, and I fixed that repair, and now looks like alright. Yes, what to buy? You can buy anything that you really want. When you start thinking to put more things on it, like that stuff I took off, that's just for now, that's how it came. The thing is, when you start putting on the things, like for example, just to do that quickly, like pony bottle, yeah? Now, here the problem starts. It's not that great anymore. Why it's not great? Here's, oh, you see how it's hanging here? It's just like hanging down. I fixed it up a little bit. I made another one clip here. It's hanging down like that. It's a little bit better. I think not that bad, but that's not designed for that. That's my clip I've done, but that's alright. Like some people I've seen they use that way, which is not good because chest needs to be open. If something happened, you know, like you don't want to close it in. Alright, that's one thing. What that means is when you got the gear that you think you will dive in the future or whatever, then you start thinking what you want to buy. Yeah, another thing quickly that we see many times, what happens is something like that. You go to the, before diving, somebody comes, or even on a boat, oh gee, I got that problem. Oh, you know how to do the threading and your buckle? No idea. It's pretty easy. You hold on the left hand side, yeah, you thread in left hand side, like that, just to show you better. First, you go through that metallic buckle, not the first one, the second one up, like that, and then the first one down and over on that one, done, like that, and you're right. I'll do again. Alright, left hand side, yeah, through the metal bit, through the middle one or the second one, back to first one, and when you got on tank, you go and just and you push like that, and that will hold when you're on the tank, and then you slip that through, and then you close. That's it. With the gear, it's good to know your gear, your weight system. That system here is got the weights at the back too, and at the front. If something goes wrong, you get rid of first lot of weights. You know, you don't get rid of just bang everything in one go. Get rid of one thing and then another, and you know, you compensate that. All right, I'll show you now my another BC. Which is that one, IMS. What it is, when you buy that stuff, make sure when you're buying in a dive shop that you try first, or ask the guys what's good. Lots of that stuff, it's very, very well made. If you look after, when you go for a dive, for example, hot sunny day, you know, you're laying there in the sun waiting for the boat, just get the tail or whatever, just cover that, will keep you for longer. Now that stuff what I said I got made, I don't know, 2004 or something like that. That's like, you know, you're talking 10 years. If you look after, you wash the bladder inside out, you dry everything, that will be for years and years. Alright, here we got a couple of those hoses which, you know, it's like what the heck. Yeah, you're running two bladders inside. Purpose of that is if something goes wrong and you cut one, you got another one. Which one, the people say, look, I run two systems, I got the dry suit, and if something goes wrong, I can use my dry suit. Or, you know, vice versa. But when you're in a wetsuit, then shit, you got two. I haven't got connected one. The reason is, if something goes wrong, I can manually do that stuff. Alright, I'll show you now what's the difference when you got something like that. It's that strap here at the back too, but I won't do that now. doesn't matter. Like that, what I'd like to show you is when you got your pony, that's the difference here. It sits much better. That's much better. What that means is if I got twin tanks and I got some other stages, I can clip to different places and so on and so on. Yes. Now, what it is, you see, here is one and here is another hose. That's the second one, which I just plonk like that. It's actually, I'm using that one. What I like about that is it's actually underneath. I don't go like you used to, you know. You do that, I just like that. Nothing wrong with that. Another thing is, you see here, lots of people, they don't like that stuff because they say, oh, when you deflate, suddenly the air, because the bungee will get the air much faster out than just normal pressure of water. That's why some people don't like that, and especially in cave diving and stuff like that. But the thing is, I never found the problem. When you're neutral and you come towards the wall and you see, oh, I'd like to go over that sort of stuff, you think ahead. I'm going up, I need to get maybe a little bit air out or whatever. You know, you do that before, not when it's already happening, coming up, and then you start, and then you go, you're thinking ahead, alright? Okay, doc. Now here we got few tanks. What I just want to say is we got twin tanks. Now, for example, you can cheat a little bit. What it is, people got twin tanks, go down to shipwreck. Let's say shipwreck is in 30 meters or 40 meters, whatever. I got nitrox, 33% for example in, that's MOD, maximum operation depth is 32 meters. If I got something like that, and scooter, underwater scooter, which Sea-Doo Explorer, absolutely beautiful, 90 minutes, down to 40 meters, very powerful thing, no problem at all. You got one of those, you put scooter, and that, you go through the shipwreck, twice, 3 times, bang, 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 and yep, up we're going up. Those guys, they're sitting, they do deco or whatever, you're done. If you wanna that sort of thing. Yeah, and then, you know, all costs, like you have to do all those certifications. Alright, you do the nitrox, very good thing to have, but then you go to the twin tanks, you do all that certs, and you know, it's all money. But get some gear that, you know, oh, I'd like to dive for years and years, and I'm doing that. I'm happy to have just jacket style, just to go in summer, wetsuit, you know, I don't want to be bulky, have lots of those things. One of those things is, guys, whatever it is that one or the other, you don't want to like look like a Christmas tree. Put things in the pocket, don't hang off your hand and I don't know where, you know, when you go in the water, it's all that stuff around. That's why with things like that, here it's not the pockets, but when I got dry suit, I put in the pockets. With that one got the pockets already. You put in pockets in, you know, and so on. Yeah, that's the weights. The weights for that one, what I got bottle for is in summer or whatever you got diving, make sure you got some water with yourself. Even if you go on a boat, in the boats they got the water, but you got your own water. That one, I made my own. You put that, when you put it the setup, you put that one first, and then on the tank straight away. And that's one system of weights, and I put one of those here in that plate. And those ones, they are 5 each. Yeah, you put here. Why I got that much weight? Obviously I got dry suit, that's why I got much weight, and single tank, and obviously I need that much weight. Yeah. Now another thing is the clips. We got here few different clips. Don't use those types of clips, no good. They I use that one with a scooter, but you don't really want to use that. The best clips are like that one, or I've got here a little bit bigger. That's for my camera. I had that old scooter which fell apart and the handle stayed, so yep, I can use that. I mount here GoPro, yeah, and yeah, it's pretty stable to hold, and yeah, and that's the clip what I'm talking about. There are clips like that, very, very dangerous. That's very hard to unclip once it's clipped on. Just put another clip like that, and that's the clip to use. I'll just get rid of that. Just a second. And when you go on the boat, what I'm using is one of those boxes. It's little, compact, sit on the boat, put under the seat. It's my mask and anti-fog, which is that one, really good. Some people use toothpaste and yeah, some other products. Whatever you use, that's alright. Just it's not good when the mask is fogging. I got my computer. I tend to, used to people say, oh, you're wearing all in wrists, which it's good.